that we
Not
pay
a bad
for.
idea.
Yeah.
How about this? Newly released records show the Department of Energy's computer system was successfully breached by hackers 159 times between 2010 and 2014. Theresa Payton is with us, former White House Chief Information Officer and currently CEO of Fort Alice Solutions. All right, Theresa, our direct question. How easy would it be for hackers? Could they, today, wipe out air traffic control communication and just shut down air traffic control in America? Could they do that today?
I don't know if they could shut down the entire United States, but the possibility is there they could take major components of the air traffic control system offline. We've already seen them send test warning signals. You know, our alarm bells have gone off already in critical infrastructure where they've taken pieces offline. And we've seen where the systems are antiquated enough that we've been our own worst enemy. And we've had, you know, for example, United Airlines was offline for several hours. Yep. So you can see where we've got fragility right now in our infrastructure. It wouldn't be that hard for the hackers to take something offline.
Do we know that the hackers are hostile? They're deliberately taking out a piece of an industry or a piece of a company. Do we know that?
We do know that there are different groups of hackers. Some have economic benefit, you know, to them at their intent. And then some are malicious hackers. They want to do America harm. And so they want to go after America's infrastructure. And what better way to do that than to go after transportation, energy, water. And so these are prime targets. They're attacked every day. A lot of those attacks not successful, but some are successful.
So you were in the White House, Chief Information Officer under President Bush. Now you run Fort Alice Solutions, which I take it is a solution to the hacking problem. So I want you to tell our viewers, I mean, can you stop this? I mean, can we take measures today that would start today that would stop these guys getting in and shutting down part of our system?
It would, and it takes some thought and some planning. It's not just about buying technology, although that is sometimes part of the solution. But when I think back to the White House, for example, we knew hackers were at our door every day. And so we knew we had to segment information to save it. For example, we would separate out the president's schedule. No one system had the full picture, and we would pull that all together to create the president's schedule. So he was not put at risk. If a hacker got into one network, they would have had to have gotten into 6 networks.
I'm going to interrupt you real briefly. Theresa, I'm going to interrupt you. You're talking about segmenting information, and you did it successfully at the White House. But doing that to the national grid, for example, or to an entire industry, that would take years and years and years of software rewriting, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily. So what we've seen for the grid is you have components that are part of the grid that were built before the internet and built before sort of this cyber criminal era that we have on the internet. And now they're plugged into the internet, and they don't always need to be. So we need to be looking at what are our most critical, you know, our big cities, critical infrastructure in different parts of the nation. Again, we're not going to be able to go to every single location and start segmenting it, but start picking out what are the cities we can't afford for them to go offline, and creating that segmentation in addition to what's our disaster backup plan going to be if they are successful. And a lot of that is just thoughtful planning and re-engineering how a lot of these systems are designed.
Okay. This should be an election issue. This should be a political issue. That's my opinion, for what it's worth. Theresa, thanks very much for joining us. Come again, because obviously this is a threat of major proportion. We want to hear about it. Theresa, thank you very much
Thanks
indeed.
for having me.